Fasting is one of the quickest ways to lose weight. But the question is, what are you actually losing? Fat, sure, but what about muscle? You've probably heard people say, don't fast, you'll lose muscle mass, or you can't get enough protein if you're fasting. I mean, it's a scary thought. You don't want to lose your valuable biceps, but you still want to fast for all of the amazing health benefits like lowering blood pressure, insulin, inflammation, and even your cancer risk. But here's the truth. Most people, including some doctors, are completely wrong about how much muscle you lose when you're fasting. So today I'm going to show you how to get all of the amazing benefits of fasting without losing muscle mass, and how little muscle you actually do lose, even on a prolonged fast of 7 days or more. So if you want to try fasting, or if you're doing it right now, this could change the way you do it. When you go a full day without eating, your body doesn't panic and start breaking down muscle mass for energy. You have about a day's worth of stored glucose in your body. And once you burn through those reserves, then you'll start burning more fat for energy. Think of body fat like your emergency backup generator. It's there for times like this. Your body's really smart. It knows that you need muscle to survive, to move, and to keep your metabolism working. So the last thing it wants to do is to burn that away, unless it has no other choice. Now here's where it gets interesting. When you fast, your growth hormone levels spike, and not just a little bit, by like 300 to 1200%, depending on how long you fast. And why does that matter? Well, because growth hormone is a protein-sparing hormone, so it literally tells your body to protect your muscle and burn through fat instead. This is one of our built-in safety mechanisms to keep us alive when food is scarce. But muscle loss is when your body's actually breaking down muscle tissue for energy. And that usually doesn't happen until much later on in a fast. If you go beyond the 7 to 10 day mark, after about 10 days without food, your body can start converting a small amount of muscle protein into glucose, because there are a few cells in your body that can't run on ketones. They prefer to run on glucose, like red blood cells, for example. But even then, this process is really slow. Research from fasting clinics like the True North Health Center or studies from Harvard found that during extended fasts, like beyond 2 weeks, the average rate of muscle breakdown is only about 0.2 to 0.4 pounds per day. That's a very small percentage. So that means healthy adults with enough body fat can actually go weeks without food and still keep most of their muscle mass. It's only people that are severely underweight or don't have enough body fat to begin with that may lose muscle mass sooner. And if you're doing a shorter 3 to 7 day fast, that's not what's happening at all. A lot of people say they're actually shocked at how much energy they have while they're fasting, and it's enough to do a full workout without feeling completely wrecked or dizzy. That just means the fast is working well for you. Your body has adapted, your electrolytes are in balance, and your metabolism loves being in fat-burning mode. But on the other hand, if you feel too tired to move, if the thought of climbing stairs makes you want to lie down, you might need to end your fast early or try taking some supplements. If you feel weak, lightheaded, or completely wiped out, it's not because of muscle loss. It's often because your minerals are depleted. It's electrolytes like potassium, magnesium, sodium, and chloride. They actually help to keep your body communicating properly, especially your muscles and nervous system. They help your brain cells or your neurons send signals to each other, they help your heart to beat, and they even help you have more energy. But since fasting is a natural diuretic and you're losing more water than usual, you're flushing out those electrolytes with it. It doesn't mean fasting is bad for you, it just means your body's missing a few key ingredients it needs to operate at its full power. So here's a couple of options if you feel like you need some electrolytes while you're fasting. Number 1, you can add a pinch of high-quality sea salt to some water. Don't eat it on its own. This isn't a TikTok challenge. Or option number 2, you can buy electrolytes in pill form or a sugar-free powder, but just make sure there's no hidden ingredients that can break your fast. Another supplement you can try taking if you're struggling with energy or brain fog are B vitamins. Sometimes when you give your body the supplements it needs, you'll be amazed at how strong and energized you feel, even without food. Now listen to this. When you fast, your body starts this amazing process called autophagy. It's what gets rid of all of your old, damaged, or weak cells, including those in your muscle tissue. kind of like a deep clean for your muscles. The old sluggish muscle fibers are gone, and any damaged mitochondria get replaced by new ones. And this is amazing because your muscles become more efficient at using energy and recover faster from exercise or stress. So fasting doesn't just help to preserve your muscle, it helps to rebuild it. You're clearing out the junk, improving the quality of your tissue, and improving your ability to grow, repair, and perform. And this is why long-term fasters say they feel stronger and even more energized after a fast without having increased their workouts. Fasting doesn't eat away at your muscle, it upgrades it. But one of the absolute best things about fasting is that it makes you more sensitive to insulin. Insulin actually isn't your enemy. It's one of your body's most powerful growth hormones. When it's working the way it should, insulin helps to move things like amino acids and glucose right into your muscles where they can use it to repair and grow. But it's when your insulin levels are constantly high from things like eating all day long, snacking too much, or eating a lot of refined carbs like white bread or pasta. That's when your muscles even stop responding, and it's called insulin resistance. So when that happens, those nutrients don't go into your muscles anymore. They get stored as fat. But fasting flips that entire process on its head. When you stop eating, your insulin levels drop and your body finally gets a break. Your cells reset and actually become more insulin sensitive again. So when you do eat, when you break your fast, your muscles are even more receptive than ever. They soak up those nutrients like a sponge to make more muscle. So that means when you break your fast, that meal is anabolic. You're building more muscle and storing less fat from that meal. That's why people who fast often say they get leaner and stronger at the same time. Their body is no longer stuck in storage mode, it's in rebuild and repair mode. But the best thing about all this is lowering your insulin resistance doesn't just help your muscles. It helps to lower inflammation, balance your hormones, and reduce your risk of things like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. But let's say you're someone who lifts weights or trains regularly, and you've noticed that your muscles feel soft or smaller when you're fasting. What you're likely experiencing here is muscle shrinkage, not muscle loss. Not the same thing. It happens when your body burns through your glycogen stores, those energy reserves, and it stores that glycogen in your muscles for emergencies. And each gram of glycogen normally holds on to 3 to 4 grams of water. So when you start burning up that stored sugar, you also get rid of all the water that it was holding with it. That's why the scale may suddenly drop, or you're running to the washer more often than usual. So once that stored glycogen is gone and your muscles lose that water as well, they might look a bit smaller. But as soon as you start to eat again and your glycogen stores refill, the water comes back and your muscles will pump back up, usually within a day or two. And if you're not keeping up with your usual workouts while you're fasting, your muscles aren't getting that same fullness from movement because they're not being stimulated. But the muscle fibers themselves, the tissue, is still there. And if you are someone who likes to work out but don't like the thought of muscle shrinkage, there's a simple fix for that. Keep moving while you're fasting. I'm not saying you have to crush hour-long workouts. Even some light weights or resistance training can keep your muscles stimulated enough to help keep their shape. So does fasting make you lose muscle? Not if you do it right. If you keep your electrolytes balanced and keep moving while you're fasting, your muscle is actually a lot more protected than you think. And there's actually things you can do to boost autophagy and make your fast even more effective. I go over them in this video here, so I'll leave that for you to watch next, and I'll see you next week.